Hello everyone, hello, and welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Well, was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. I don't know. Time is getting weird. Last time we investigated the murder of Mr. Natsume's downstairs neighbor, but the man happened to not be dead. So I'm not sure what we're gonna what's gonna happen now. I mean, he's gonna be tried for murdering someone that's not dead. I don't know. I guess we'll see. So let's get into that. Alright then. 22nd of February, 9:23 AM. The Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber. The Old Bailey. This place always makes me feel strange. I seem to get shivers down my spine and break out in a nervous sweat all at the same time. Oh well, I didn't think I'd be back here so soon. That's my line. Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Natsume. Oh, it was only 2 days ago that I was declared not guilty here. Ah yes, we somehow managed to prove he didn't stab Miss Green in the back. But now this! Another morning, another murder! And here I am again in this hellhole! Can't keep coming to court! Oh, I'm beginning to think he's right. It really does seem as though he's cursed. Naruhodo-san, I'm afraid I have bad news. Oh. Ah, Natsume-san. Good morning. Yes? Morning? Oh, so, here we are again. Yeah, again? I think she doesn't want to tell the thing to me in front of Mr. Natsume. Judicial assistant Miss Mikoto by Squires. What's the bad news? Oh dear. You heard, did you? Well, if you come in shouting at the top of your voice, people can't help hearing what you say. Oh, I am sorry. Oh, you've done nothing wrong, Suto-san. Now what is it? What's going on? Oh, well, it seems that the prosecution into this trial will be led by Lord Barak van Zeeks. Again? Come on now, he's always retiring and coming back when we are here. What's to do with that? Van Zeeks? Ah! Oh no! Oh no! The so-called Reaper of the Bailey, the most legendary persecutor in the land. How many times are we going to introduce the guy? In the trial 2 days ago, he pursued Suzuki-san and I relentlessly. Of course, by the skin of our teeth, we managed to pull through, but still. Perhaps Mr. Natsume's acquittal in the last trial wasn't the end of the matter after all? Oh yes, I know what you're thinking. The legend and the Reaper says Nothing can save a person in the dock when Lord Van Zieks is the prosecutor. Oh no! Oh, that even if that person is found not guilty, the accused will meet a mysterious end one way or another. And we've experienced it firsthand. Even though we now know what happened. Oh wait, did we know? Did you? Oh yes, we did. A man we successfully defended met the most terrifying end after his acquittal. Right here, in the Old Bailey. Ah! Do I have to put up with those ice-cold eyes? Boring to my soul again! Cursed by evil spirits, and now by the Reaper! Pair of petrifying pearls, potentially. Well, if it's potentially, at least you appear to have hope, Natsume-san. Locum students, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Yeah? I'm innocent. You have to believe me. You more than anyone now. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'll be your steadfast ally every step of the way in this battle. I promise. And the guy isn't even dead. And this promises to be a hard battle, I fear. But, well, the man's not dead. Oh, but he accused Miss Natsume, though. Oh. Well. The trial is scheduled to begin shortly. Scheduled to begin shortly. We should move into the courtroom. Let's go. Oh, yes. I forgot to say. I'm afraid we won't be able to make it, Mr. Sholmes. He won't be able to make it, Mr. Sholmes, I mean. That's probably for the best. Oh. If he were here, I might be tempted to rely on his help. And that could be seen as a weakness. If Lord Van Zieks were to notice, he'd prey on it mercilessly. At least, that's my gut feeling. Naruhodo-san. Oh, you're right. Oh, yes, you're right. Oh, well said, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Well said. I swear on this sword at my side and the spirit of Kazuma that it harbors. I'll show him what a Japanese lawyer can do. I'll set you free with honor. Oh, yes. 22nd of February, 9:40 a.m. The Old Bailey courtroom. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I now call upon the counsel for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. Is he a vampire? I wonder. The prosecution is ready. The defense is ready, my lord. Readiness for the trial, my lord Nipponese friend. No, not what the defense needs. What you need is readiness for your inevitable defeat. It's not just my imagination. It's really there. Lord Van Zieks has such an animosity towards us Japanese for some reason. It was some time ago now that he first became known as the Reaper of the Bailey, I believe. These past few years, he hasn't appeared in court at all. Yet now he's back in the courtroom, though for some reason, only when I'm defending. This Reaper, with his curious disdain for us Japanese, is a prosecutor shrouded in mystery. Still, this isn't the time to be pondering that. I have to concentrate on Sasaki-san's trial. Furthermore, I now call upon the 6 ladies and gentlemen of the jury. You have been chosen at random to represent the will of the people in this trial. Are you ready to fulfill your duty? Oh, let me guess. How many of them do we already know? I mean, half of them? All of them? Ah, him again? Absolutely. I had a feeling this Solarican wasn't innocent before. Like her again? Oh, I must say that I feel especially ruthless on days when my heart refuses to sit right. Him again? Oh well, I rather like how you're wearing your hat. I think the ruthless look is very fetching, actually. Oh, a new one. I need to be somewhere at 10 o'clock. I have a very important meeting. Let's make this quick. Come on now, him again. Oh, I couldn't agree more. I need to take home 5 bob tonight, or the missus will go through the roof. Him again? Oh, almost all of them are, we know. Oh, may the Lord show us all the lights here, and lead his flock to a righteous verdict. The British jury system is so very different to our own, isn't it? It's quite extraordinary to think that the power of judgment is in the hand of 6 members of the public, and always the same ones. And that the judge can only pass sentence when all jurors are in agreement about the defendant's guilt. 6 citizens of London, chosen at random. How many citizens are there in London? I mean, are there like 30? Well, at least that's the idea. Yeah, it's supposed to be. I mean, how random is that? The prosecution would draw attention to the fact that the accused was on trial here but 2 days ago. But he was acquitted, man. Accordingly, where possible, the same jurors have been asked to return for duty today. Wait, oh. Okay. Very well. Let us commence the trial. Lord Van Zieks, your opening statement, please. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it is not the intent of the prosecution to cast doubt over your past decision. However, the innocent verdict afforded to eccentric Nipponese before has had dire consequences. Did the accused repent for his wrongdoing in that affair? Far from it. Well, I thought we established he didn't do anything, but okay. Instead, he used his freedom to perpetrate a most blood-curdling crime. Blood-curdling? Wow. Those words. Namely, that of the attempted murder of his neighboring lodger, an innocent Englishman. To explain the circumstances of the crime, the prosecution calls its first witness to the stand. The detective responsible for investigating the scene. And the accused himself. Wait, what? He's never done that before. Witnesses, your names and occupations, please. Oh, yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard's Homicide Division. Soseki Natsume, from the Empire of Japan. My government ordered me to come here as a student to study your language and culture. Mr. Natsume. Oh, yes, my lord. Sir? I'm quite sure I'm not mistaken. That you swore an oath never to set foot in my courtroom again. I remember it as if it were yesterday. Well, it was the day before that. The day before, in fact, my lord. But close enough. Believe me, this is the last place I want to be. Inspector, let's hear from you first. Explain the case to the court. All right, you are, sir. The incident occurred at the Gardep household, where the defendant has lodgings. In the ground floor room of the victim, Mr. William Shakespeare. The defendant has already admitted to visiting the victim on the night in question. Mr. Shakespeare collapsed in his room as a result of poisoning by strychnine. He was found the following morning when the landlord, suspecting something was wrong, broke down the door. This means, I presume, that the door to the victim's room was locked at the time of the incident. Correct, my lord. It was locked from the inside, making entry or exit from the room impossible. Although the victim, Mr. Shakespeare, lives to tell the tale, he very nearly didn't. The man was halfway to heaven when we first found him. I was the first officer on the scene, my lord. And I have a photographic print here that I took at the time to show how it looked. Oh, yes, a chilling scene indeed. The man looks very much deceased. That's right. Everyone present believed that's exactly what he was. Very well. I shall accept this photographic print as evidence for the court. The crime scene photograph has been entered into the court record. Now then, Mr. Natsume. Yes. As a defendant, do you have anything to say at this juncture? They're haunted by evil spirits. Oh, good gracious, what's haunted? My lodgings! Oh, there's been a whole series of strange happenings in my lodgings. The tenant before me died in mysterious circumstances. A woman was stabbed by no one on the street outside. My neighbor was poisoned. And me? What about me? I've nearly been killed countless times. Killed, Mr. Natsume? How? Oh, even on that fateful night it happened when I returned from Mr. Shakespeare's room. I lit my gas stove and climbed into bed, but before long, The stove went out and somebody tried to kill me. You must always extinguish all fires before retiring for the night, Mr. Natsume. But it's so cold. My runny nose would freeze. Oh, the point is, I didn't poison my neighbor. Oh, why am I being accused of this? Why is my existence so cursed? Thank you, witnesses. I believe I have a reasonably clear picture of events. If I could raise one more point, my lord. One more conclusive point. Conclusive? Oh, go on. Unfortunately, the victim, Mr. Shakespeare, has regained consciousness after his ordeal. And he has named the true culprit. The poison consumed by the victim was administered in a cup of tea that he drank on the night in question. Tea, my lord, that was brought to the victim's room by the accused. The accused? Oh, good grief. Order! 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 Ah, yes. The crux of this whole case. If Sasaki-san is innocent, then why? Why has the victim accused him? Oh, well, Mr. Natsume, what have you to say to this accusation? That evening? Oh, yes, I did take some freshly brewed tea. No. With me when I visited Mr. Shakespeare's room as a gift. The public water pump is outside, always freezes at night, so I brought bottled water, especially to make it. And this is a result. Never will I touch tea again. Never! The public pump was frozen, you say? Oh, that's not information we've heard before. Oh, that will do, thank you. Now, according to our laws, the defense must have the opportunity to cross-examine witnesses at least once. Therefore, I call upon these witnesses now for a formal testimony. I presume the prosecution has no objection. None whatsoever, my lord. Oh, good. Then you will give your account of events on the night in question to the court now. Yes, my lord. The catastrophic night. Oh, it was around 9 o'clock that evening when I visited my neighbor, and I took some tea with me as a gift. We had heated literary debate over a nice hot drink, after which I went back to my room at around 11. Oh, my tea was completely harmless. He couldn't have locked the door behind me otherwise, could he? Oh, strychnine. Is it strychnine or strychnine? I would say strychnine, but just gonna check real quick. I'm kinda curious about that. Strychnine. Oh, it's strychnine. Okay. Okay, I got it. Strychnine takes some time to have an effect on the body. People don't keel over immediately after taking it. The victim would have been perfectly able to lock the door after his guest left. The argument still stands. Yes, I see. It all seems relatively straightforward. Oh, excuse me, but that testimony does raise one rather crucial point, I think. Mr. Natsume claims his tea to have been harmless. Presumably, though, the teacups have been examined for traces of the poison, haven't they? Why didn't I think of that? Oh, well, as it happens, no, we haven't been able to. Did I hear you correctly, Inspector? Scotland Yard has failed to examine the suspect's substance? How could you have overlooked something so important? Isn't that the first thing you should have done? Malone Nipponi's friend is falsely incensed. What? The inspector said Scotland Yard was unable to examine the tea, not that it was overlooked. Unable? Why? Oh, it's simple enough. There was no left, not a drop. What? Is this a problem? Someone must have been very thirsty indeed. With current scientific techniques, it's not possible to test for poison under such circumstances. We only need a drop, but that one drop does actually have to exist, funnily enough. The lack of examination notwithstanding, it appears nothing other than the tea passed the victim's lips on the night in question. Oh, I see. Thank you. The matter is clear. Cast your eyes over the jury, my learned friend. What? You can see it in their faces, I'm sure. The recognition of the accused's guilt. I don't see it. Your client's fate is all but sealed. Oh, wait, we have to check the picture, by the way. Is there anything special? Oh, there's some pool over there. A puddle. What is it? It's weird. Is there anything else? The window isn't open. The fork, the teacup, the soap. There's nothing special in there. Except the puddle. I don't remember seeing it. In mere moments from now, you will lose, and your compatriot will be damned for all eternity. Oh wow, it's a bit dramatic here. He's right. I can feel all 6 of the jurors looking daggers at me. But I can't let them beat me down. I won't. Counsel for the defense, proceed with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. The catastrophic night. Oh, it was around 9 o'clock that evening when I visited my neighbor, and I took some tea with me as a gift. Hold it! Were you and your neighbor good friends then? Ah, no, we weren't friends. Not at all. Not at all. Never, ever. A simple no would have sufficed. Then, why did you decide to pay him a visit, then? Oh, Mr. Shakespeare fancies himself as having great literary knowledge. As a fellow scholar of English literature, we find much to talk about together. Come now, my Nipponese. No Nipponese could understand the finer points of English literature. Man, this guy has some heavy prejudices. So prejudiced. And on the night in question, what was the topic of the conversation as well? That was the topic of the conversation as well, I presume? Oh, it was the day of my last trial when I was acquitted. I just arrived back at my lodgings when I ran into Mr. Shakespeare outside on the street. That was at around 6 o'clock. We exchanged one or two pleasantries, but it soon turned into a heated discussion. He was on his way out at the time, though, so I promised to visit his room that evening at 9 to continue our debate. But did I have ill intentions? No, not one, not two, not any, not at all. Never, ever. Oh, a simple no would have sufficed, I feel. Then tell the court what did happen when you visited the victim's room. Oh, we had a heated literary debate over a nice hot drink, after which I went back to my room at around 11. Hold it! A literary debate? About Shakespeare's works? I think you said, didn't you? Shakespeare? Oh, a very worthy topic of conversation, I must say. Oh, yes, my lord. Romeo and Juliet. Who was stronger? 'Twas a profoundly pleasurable parley. Romeo and Juliet. Who was stronger? Oh, I know I'm going to regret asking this, but... how did the debate go? Oh, well, we both agreed that we would reach a conclusion more quickly with the reenactment. So we battled it out, in a Greco-Roman style, naturally. Wait, what? Were they both naked? What? Mr. Shakespeare had all sorts of costumes in his room for just such a contest. So, when you say reenactment, you mean you were actually in costumes? Oh, he as Romeo, and I as Juliet, and after a vigorous, wide tussle, I, as Juliet, came out on top. A victory I cherished forever! I dare not imagine the terrible scene of carnage. The fact remains that it was you who prepared the tea and took it to the victim, correct? I bought the water in my room and made a pot to take with me. I'd heard that he was too poor to have tea himself, you see. Oh, it's true. There was no sign of any tea leaves in the man's room. Oh, I wanted to do something nice, to be friendly. So why is everyone looking at me with such suspicion? My tea was harmless. Of course it was. Do you have any basis for that statement, witness? What? My tea was completely harmless. He couldn't have locked the door behind me otherwise, could he? Hold it! Ah yes, There was not a drop of tea left in the victim's room anywhere, was there? That's correct. Anyone would think the fellow had never had a pot of tea before. He must have licked it dry. Which is a pity, because one drop is all we would have needed to analyze it for poison. And you say that you return home to your room at 11 o'clock, Mr. Natsume? Oh yes, definitely. By heaven and earth, I swear it. Oh, the landlord was able to verify that. It happens. He confirmed that the defendant went back to his room at 11 that night. And how is the landlord able to attest to this? He said it was a lamps, I believe. The lamps? Inspector? When tenants return to their rooms and start using gas, the lamps in other parts of their house flicker. Oh, yes. Mr. Kaidive seems to pay a lot of attention to the comings and goings of his tenants. Oh, there's only one key to Mr. Shamspeare's room. I know that for certain. So he must have locked the door himself, from inside his room. The victim has confirmed that to be the case, yes. So I'm right. My tea was harmless, completely harmless. If you take poison, you die. Everyone knows that. It's not that simple, I'm afraid. What do you mean? Strychnine takes some time to have an effect on the body. People don't keel over immediately after taking it. Hold it! How long does it take for such symptoms to appear then? According to the coroner I was speaking to at the yard, about 30 minutes after the poison is consumed. Then the victim suffers violent convulsions, cramping and stiffness, and eventually dies from asphyxiation. So, there's a 30-minute interval between when the poison is ingested and the onset of symptoms. There seems to be a lot of different types of poison in the world. That's for sure. Oh dear. Death by poisoning again. It's always so awful. 30 minutes is a long time. Certainly long enough for the victim to have locked the door behind the accused after he left. Well, it would have meant that he would have drunk all the tea just before the Mr. Natsume left, which is kind of weird. Oh, you can't deny that. And it further degrades Sasuke-san's alibi. I have the medical report from the doctor who examined the victim here, my lord. It spells it out, really. The accused is the only person who could have done it. Very well. The court will add this report to the court record as evidence. The victim's medical report has been entered into a court record. Okay, we have to look at it. Oh yes, I see it here. Delayed onset of symptoms. What's in this report? Victim William Shamspeare, 31. Cause of coma, ingestion of a small quantity of strychnine. Toxic effects present 30 minutes after ingestion. High likelihood of the substance having been mixed with the tea the victim was drinking, but no sample could be obtained for testing. Investigative conclusion. The poisoning incident occurred at around 1:30 a.m. on 21st of February. Assessed from the victim's pocket watch that appeared to have broken when the man collapsed after the delayed onset of symptoms. Wait, what? So he was poisoned at 1 a.m.? And the container for the poison was found at the scene. How did they not see that? I mean, the prosecution. Great. The victim would have been perfectly able to lock the door after his guest. The argument still stands.
Hold it!
The argument still stands, you say? This is what Mr. Natsume has been saying, isn't it? The pair then drank tea together that night, so if there was poison in it, the victim wouldn't have been able to lock the door. After the accused left right later on. Exactly. Ah, me and my tea are innocent. Sweet and innocent, I tell you. Wait, he puts sugar in his tea? I'm afraid, sir, that doesn't follow. You see, strychnine is a slow-acting poison. In other words, it takes time for symptoms to appear. So, you could have left the room up to 30 minutes after the victim drank the tea. And as long as you did that, Mr. Shamspeare could have locked the door after you'd gone. But, no! We drank tea straight away! The battle over whether Romeo and Juliet was stronger. That came after the tea. Do you have any evidence to support that statement? In my great homeland, the Empire of Japan, we have a saying. Drink tea while it's hot. Sure. A proverb would satisfy the prosecution. I'm afraid there's no conclusive proof to support the defendant's assertions. On the contrary, there are sufficient grounds to infer his guilt in this matter. Oh no! That's the extent of the testimony, is it? If I could voice a personal opinion, Naruhodo-san. Of course, go ahead. Mr. Natsume is arguing for his innocence so adamantly and so persistently. Yet, Inspector Gregson just brushes what he says aside. It's really quite infuriating. I agree. So we need to find out an inconsistency in what the inspector is saying, I think. I'm afraid so. As things stand, the jurors are sure to find Mr. Natsume guilty. As I see it, what we need to focus on is the poison and the tea. Let's listen carefully to this testimony again. Oh yes. I know what. It was around 9 o'clock. I was still my neighbor. Here, what I drink. My tea was completely harmless. Okay, strict 19. People don't kill over immediately. The victim would have been perfectly able to lock the door after his guest left. The argument still stands. We're gonna present the medical report. Man, you didn't read the report. You're not doing your job. The argument still stands, you say? I think not, Inspector. Come again? I think you'll find that you've overlooked a very significant chronological inconsistency here. Chrono... What? What are you all about? According to this report, the victim must have consumed the poison at around 1:30 in the morning. And yet, the defendant, Mr. Natsume, left the victim's room at 11. Oh! Yes, that's right. There's more than 2 hours of missing time here. You. In other words, if there was poison in the tea that Mr. Natsume brought to the victim's room, how could the victim have fallen ill to it 2.5 hours, full hours after the defendant left? 2.5 full hours? Okay. Well, okay. Ah! Wait, what? The defense's argument is entirely reasonable. How do you respond, Lord Van Zieks? Mm-hmm. Pray forgive the discourtesy of if my mind has wandered. I was considering what cuisine would best complement the contents of my hallowed callous this luncheon. What? How could it have happened, you ask? I do hate to shatter illusions, but my Nipponese friend appears to be chasing a phantom idea. A phantom? Is it so hard to imagine that the victim drank his tea after the accused had left? For example, at the time stated in the medical report, yes, at around 1:30.
Objection!
Mr. Natsume brought the tea with him to drink together with his neighbor. And in Japan, there is a well-known saying, drink tea while it's hot.
Objection!
And in my country, there is an even more apt saying, there is nothing more refreshing than cold tea. The point is, if there was such a long gap, there may be other ways to explain how the victim came to be poisoned. Other possibilities. What sort of possibilities, Counsel? Well, for example, the man could have had another visitor. Another visitor? That's a very bold assertion, my learned friend. From someone who has nothing to substantiate it. Or the victim could have taken the poison of his own volition. You suggest this may have been a suicide, Counsel?
Objection!
Mr. Shakespeare has categorically denied suicide. The idea can and must be discounted.
Objection!
Oh no! Or we are really not convinced of what we're saying. But he could be lying. What? What? Is something wrong, Lord Van Zieks? I was listening to the sound of the carriage pulling up outside the courtroom. Pray forgive the discourtesy. Carriage? What carriage? It would seem that the key player in this case has just arrived. Wait, what? Who? Out! Brief handle! Life's but a walking shadow. Oh, it's the man himself. Oh, a poor player that shreds and frets his hours upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Who, sir, are you? William Shakespeare, my lord. Alas, 'twas I, undone by these bitter events. I am the victim. What? What's he doing here? The prosecution seeks to call this gentleman to the stand. With his testimony, my learned friend's futile resistance will be utterly crushed. Oh, you're calling him as a witness? Very well, counsel. I grant your request with interest. I'm curious to discover what the court shall hear from the victim himself. Oh, happy happy am I, Shakespeare, to regale thee with my tale of woe, my lord. Oh, but I still have my own tale to tell, my own tale of worse woe. I can regale the court with the tale of my perfect innocence in perfect English. That will do, Mr. Natsume. Let the court now hear from the victim. Oh, this guy again. Who is this? Alright, so that's Mr. Shakespeare. But who's that other man beside him? Who is he? Pretty sure he's the third skulking brother, but well, we'll see. Oh, yes, I feel sure that we've caught a glimpse of that man before. State your names and occupation for the court, please, witnesses. Oh, a writer of words so sweet that do scent the breeze. An inventor of ideas so profound they compose the earth. The unrivaled poet, the unmatched scribe, William Shakespeare. Were the great part to be recalled to life anew? Lo, what a magnificent man! Good fellows, I am the he who ponders such a miracle. William Shakespeare. Oh, the name's Mitterman. Adrian B. Mitterman. I work for the Adaman Gas Company, Eastern Branch Office. Oh, I remember now. It was yesterday, on Briar Road. Oh yes, she's right. It's him. Oh, what's this? What's that man doing over there? It looks like he's trying to see into Sasaki-san's lodgings. Is something wrong? Naruhodo-san. Excuse me? Could we have a word? Oh! Ah yes, we spotted him outside Mr. Gaida's house that morning. And he's a gas company employee? What does he have to do with this case? So, Mr. William Shakespeare, you are the victim in this miserable affair, correct? Well, why doesn't even strike them as odd that this guy is here? This has nothing to do with the thing. Oh heaven! Oh hell! Do you command me to remember? Oh, that sweet poison that didst cross me and cross mine innocent lips. I subpoenaed him for the trial, with his doctor's permission, naturally. Hearing the testimony of the aggrieved will remove any room for doubt from the jurors' minds, I'm sure. Oh, behold, you have only to rearrange the letters of my name to see that me's a seraph. An angel indeed. Thus be I noble of mind, sweet of nature, and very honest of heart, as all heavenly angels be. I hate this guy. Because there isn't a less contrived meaning in your name. No, not at all. The juror seems to be very moved by this man, I'm afraid. Oh man, no! They're actually taking this seraph anagram idea seriously? Thank you, witnesses, for your illuminating introductions. What the... But my lord, what's the man next to Mr. Shakespeare's doing here? The gas man, I mean. Oh, what, me? Oh, well, no. Allow me to enlighten my learned friend. You recall, I presume, your earlier impertinence? When you suggested that the victim had another visitor to his room on the night in question. And moreover, that the victim is a compulsive liar. What? No, no, I didn't quite say that. This young chin-stroker is here to controvert your wild claims conclusively. Is that not so, Mr. Metaman? Oh, hang on, no, I'm just here. I hereby call for your formal testimonies. You will tell the court as lucidly as possible what happened on the night in question. Oh, one may smile, and be a villain. Oh yes, it doth pain me, but let the truth be spoken, the truth of that wintry night of my discontent. The wintry night of my discontent. Oh, the snow lay about. My neighbour did come in the evening, bearing a gift of tea. But marry, bitter was his drink. Oh, and when he left, I did fall prostrate on my table. Oh, 'twas the tea alone did pass my lips that late hour, naught else. I was outside his closed window in the freezing cold all night, keeping an eye on his room. Wait, what? Why? No one ever visited his room, but that short little round-backed eastern fellow. Wait, What did you say? You were keeping an eye on Mr. Shakespeare's room all night? Why, that's right. Course, the bloke's window is all but blocked up, isn't it? But there's a little gap in the bricks where you can see into the room. So I spent the night trying to keep my teeth from chattering as I peered in through that. What? But why? The question is, sir, why? Well, no, that's because he's on my list. Your list? Oh, what a piece of work is a man! Wherefore wouldst thou not stare in wonderment? What are you talking about? Oh, this buzzing buzzybody hath no part in this play. I pray thee, pay him no heed. Make no more ado about these tedious words. Oh, what'd you say about me? Calm yourself. This court is concerned with what happened on the night in question. Nothing more. Indeed, that is so. And as the testimony we have just heard clearly reveals, there was no one other than the accused present at the time who could have carried out this crime. Well, I believe this may be the final testimony of the trial. Now, counsel, the defense may proceed with the cross-examination. Yes, my lord. The wintry night of my discontent. Oh, the snow lay about. My neighbor did come in the evening, bearing a gift of tea. Okay.
Hold it!
To be clear, by neighbor, you are referring to the defendant, Mr. Natsume. Oh, indeed, sir. Perchance thou wilt that I call him the man from upstairs. And at what time did the mustachioed Nipponese visit you in your room? Oh, a meeting was promised for the hour of 9. And lo, did he come to tender a gift of fragrant tea? Oh, details which are in accordance with defendant's own testimony. Yes. And we were embroiled in such a literary debate as history hath not seen before. By which I presume he means the discussion about who was the stronger, Romeo or Juliet. Oh, I, Shakespeare, did play the part of young Romeo, whilst my neighbour played the fair Juliet. Each of us dressed as would our characters be, to bring weight upon our merry experiment. I dare not imagine the scene. Oh, frailty, thy name is woman. Oh, canst thou imagine how dismayed I was? Oh yes, I had heard of the Eastern art of jiu-jitsu, but ne'er did I dream 'twould be a skill practiced by the comely maiden. Oh, Juliet beat Romeo up? This is not helping our case. I believe the court has heard enough about your earth-shattering literary debate. Perhaps you could reiterate your statement about the tea that the accused brought to your room. Oh, my liege, I am thy servant. Gladly I would do thy bidding. But marry, bitter was his drink, and when he left, I did fall prostrate on my table.
Hold it!
Let me stop you there. Mr. Natsume left your room at 11 o'clock, but it wasn't after 2 that the poison made you collapse. That amounts to more than 3 hours of missing time. What's it doing? Is he mocking me? If the defendant had really put the poison into your tea, that 3-hour window of time is something you're going to have to explain. Oh, gladly. 'Tis an easy task. What? Oh, I did drink of the tea, not while my guest is tarry, but after he took leave of me. Oh, faith, 'twas stone cold, but at 1 hour past midnight, very were my lips parched.
Objection!
That doesn't sound normal. Oh, nay. 'Tis quite ordinary, Siri. After all, thou wouldst recall our fairy debate. Amidst such argument, there'd be no time for fairy tea. Oh, Romeo and Juliet again. And who was stronger? Mr. Shakespeare, in summary, allow me to confirm. Did you not come here with the intention of naming your Attica? Oh, but of course, my liege. 'Twas this stupid lover of words did attempt to shuffle me of this mortal coil. Oh, we all know what that means. Oh, 'twas the tea alone despise my lips that late hour. Not else.
Hold it!
So, you didn't have any kind of evening meal? Dinner? Supper? Huh. Fie on luxury. Fie on gluttony. To eat thrice daily is but a waste of time. Sorry, what? What? Oh, I would that my belly were full. No more of that the sun doth rise. Oh, well, most heroic eating habits, I must say. Oh, night and day do I fill my hours with the learned study of the great bard and playwright. Hence, is it that then there doth not in my chamber be then the costumes of my art, of mine art? Hence is it that there doth not in my chamber be that the costumes of mine art? Okay. That would appear to be the case, as even a rodent was found starved to death in your room. Oh, now that I think of it, it's not just food that was conspicuously missing from that room, is it? Oh wait, where did the rat was found? Wait. What about the picture? Oh, it's not on the picture. Okay. Oh, now that I think of it, It's not just food that was conspicuously missing from that room, is it? I don't recall seeing a single player script anywhere. Oh, for I have devoured them all. You eaten them? What? Every word be within my skull. Didst thou imagine otherwise? Right. That wasn't misleading at all. Now, could you turn around, do you think? Which brings us to the conclusion that the only way the poison could have passed the victim's lips is in the tea. Oh, I was outside this bloke's window in the freezing cold all night, keeping an eye on this room. Oh no, we have to go back.
Hold it!
Oh, but the windows of that house have all been filled in. Oh, it's historical artifact of the now defunct window tax. Oh yeah, we've said that like numerous times. Oh yeah, you're right there. All bricked up horribly. Well, as it happens, there's a little part of the brickwork at the bottom corner that's been opened up. I was looking through that gap. Oh yes, there were a few bricks loose, weren't there? And for some strange reason, a couple of bars of soap lined up on the ledge outside as well. Well, I don't like going around poking my chin in other people's business, especially on freezing cold nights. But that's my orders, so that's what I'll keep doing, as long as there's breath in my body. What's with all the theatricals today? Out of interest, Mr. Mitterman. After the accused had left and returned to his own lodgings, Mr. Mitterman, it always reminds me of Mr. Loveman. Well, anyway. Did you see the victim leave the room at all? Oh, no! He never left. He was in that room the whole time, as far as I'm concerned. And we can therefore discount the possibility of suicide. What? How can you be sure of that? The police carried out a thorough investigation of the scene and found no receptacle for the poison. And since we know the victim didn't leave his room, and hence didn't dispose of the poison's container himself, it's clear that this was no attempted suicide. Only the culprit could have removed the receptacle. Oh yes, lucidly explained, Counsel, thank you. It really was. You can't argue with the logic. Come on, Naruhodo-san. Oh, no one else visited his room, but that short little round-backed Eastern fellow.
Hold it!
You say a short little round-backed Eastern fellow. So you can't be sure it was a defendant then?
Objection!
How many other short little round-backed Nipponese with a moustache do you think there are in London? Well, of course, it's only a narrow gap, and it was quite dark, so I didn't notice the moustache. But he showed up at around 9, so I'm pretty sure of myself. And when the person you saw arrived, did he and Mr. Shamspeare drink tea together? Oh, no. Sorry, I couldn't say. Why not? Oh, because, I couldn't see into the room all that well, could I? But, what I did see was the silhouette of that little round-backed fellow wearing a pretty dress. Then the pair of them started some kind of, wrestling match. I tell you, I didn't know what to make of it. Oh, I suppose that was the Romeo and Juliet championship battle getting underway. Mr. Metaman, allow me to confirm one final time. Apart from the accused, can you state with certainty that no one else visited on the night in question? No question. Gas Manzana. What? Who's that? My lord! Goodness me. Yes, Mr. Foreman. I've kept my mouth shut and listened up to now, but this has gone on long enough. Are you all with me? Yes. Are we to understand that you ladies and gentlemen of the jury are in agreement with one another? That you've reached a unanimous decision? Too right we have. Are you all with me? Yes. Wait, no! The defense is in the middle of a cross-examination. To be honest, I was holding out a bit of hope for you, young man. Especially after you identified those few hours that followed the accused leaving the victim's room. Oh yes, the 3 missing hours, as you put it. Oh, but in the end, what difference does it make? None, as far as I can see. Oh, and since that's now apparent, there's really no reason to delay our decision any longer. Or like I was saying before, if I don't take 5 Bob home with me tonight, the missus will blow her top. What's that? Oh, sorry. I didn't quite catch what you said. Very well. Let the court be apprised of your decisions. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will state your leanings as to the defendant's culpability.
Guilty!
Oh no.
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
Oh, come on now. All of you? Oh, well, it would appear that the jury is indeed unanimous. So, this time at least, it seems justice will be done. All's well that ends well, as they say. This calls for a toast, I feel. To the guilty being punished. Oh, get up. Naruto-san, please. The trial isn't over yet. What do you mean, Sato-san? What about the information I found in this encyclopedia of British law I have? That obscure right that belongs to the defense in these situations. Remember? Oh, summation examination, yes. Oh, yes, that's right. We don't have a jury in Japanese courts, of course. But here, in a British court of law, if you can reverse the decision of a majority of the jurors, you can force the trial to continue. Oh. This trial can't end now. Whatever it takes, I just can't let that happen. The defense moves to invoke its right to a summation examination, my lord. Why am I not surprised at my learned Nipponese friend's inability to admit defeat? You choose to cling desperately to some archaic rule you barely comprehend, instead of accepting the truth. Certainly no other defense counsel in recent times has exercised the right to a summation examination. Because they all know that once the jury's mind is set, it cannot be altered. Well, I think we proved many times that it can. Nevertheless, the right remains and must be upheld. The defense counsel's request is granted. This court will proceed with the summation examination, as outlined in the Encyclopedia of British Law. Oh, thank you, my lord. Are you and you fellows prepared, Mr. Foreman? Believe me, my lord, we all know about this young lad's tenacity. And we're ready for it. Very well. In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I hereby call upon each of you to state the grounds upon which you found the defendant guilty of the crime for which he stands accused. Judicial findings. The jurors' contentions. Oh, the victim may not be well off, but he's a nobleman and straight up. There's no reason to top the man. Oh well, I do declare the good gentleman has no reason to lie. In fact, I think he's rather splendid. Or, just look at the accused by comparison. He's Japanese, stoops all the while, and has a moustache. Very fishy. There's no evidence to suggest the gangling actor is a frowsman, for now at least. Oh, I really don't care. Like, I just need this trial to end quickly. Oh, 3 hours of missing time is nothing when you reach my age, you know. Nothing at all. Oh, I knew it. Ooh. I'm tired. Oh, every single one of them seems completely convinced. Oh, it would seem that all the jurors have come to the conclusion that Mr. Shakespeare is a fine, upstanding, and honest citizen. Oh, if you ask me, they've all been bewitched by his strange theatrical movements. Yeah, they are strange. Oh, and sadly, nothing Mr. Natsumi has said appears to have registered at all. Oh well, here goes. Oh, let's not forget. I've pleaded with the jury of on Sasaki-san's behalf before, and it worked. So you never know. Oh, before we begin, it might be an idea for me to remind you exactly how a summation examination works. Naruhodo-san. Yeah, take your time. Oh, well, you're still very new to British law after all. Oh, that's true, I suppose. And Sasaki-san's fate is entirely in my hands now, too. There's always a chance I might have forgotten some crucial detail. Perhaps I should hear Sato-san out. I wonder, should I let her talk me through it again or not? I don't think we need that. Oh, thank you for the kind offer, Sato-san. But I've been through plenty of these summation examinations already now. I think it's important that we don't delay the start any longer than necessary. Of course, I understand. And I'm quite sure you're right. If you're confused by anything at any point, you can turn to me for advice whenever you like. I'll be here for you. The key to this is really listening carefully to each juror's statement. Finding two that are contradictory and pitting the corresponding jurors against each other. Without further ado, please, counsel, proceed with the summation examination. Oh, yes, my lord. Jury examination. Oh, this... Look at this face of this man on the left. Oh, what is it with this guy, really? He seems awfully happy for a man who just supposedly died. Victim will not be well off, but he's a nobleman, and straight up. There's no reason to doubt the man.
Hold it!
Well, there are plenty of people in London who seem noble but poor. Couldn't some of them also be liars? I've no doubt about it. Like that shaky kind of yours, for example. Absolutely not! Mr. Natsume is no liar. Look, the point is, the only thing that passed the victim's lips that night was that Japanese man's tea. When you take the gasman's testimony into account as well, the truth couldn't be any clearer. That's alarmingly logical. But let me be frank here. I'm a gentleman, with a gentleman's values. If it turns out that the whole Shakespearean chum is a rotten liar after all, I'll gladly change my decision about the defendant. And I'm sure my fellow gentlemen on the jury would do the same. Isn't that right? Yes, perhaps. Though, I don't see it happening. What? Oh, what's that? Elderly gent on the end here, you know. You have to speak up. Oh, look, I really don't care about all this nonsense. I just need this trial to be over. How many gentlemen do we actually have on the jury then? Alright, sir. I may hold you to that. Don't forget what you said. Okay. Oh well, I do declare that a good gentleman has no reason to lie. In fact, I think he's rather splendid.
Hold it!
Are you saying you believe the man to be trustworthy? Because he's rather splendid? Oh no, that's not what I said. The point is, the man is the victim here. What reason would he have to lie? And yes, he is rather splendid. So you say it again. Meanwhile, the man who stands accused behaves so suspiciously, it's exhausting to look at him. I'm afraid he's not splendid at all. Splendid logic there, madam. Thank you so much. Oh, just look at the accused by comparison. He's Japanese, stoops all the while, and has a moustache. Very fishy.
Hold it!
No. Not one of those things. Not one of those things is a reason to find the man guilty. Oh, but he is fishy. There's no point dancing around the fact. He's Japanese. He has a moustache, and he stoops. Oh, you see, you arrive at the conclusion in just 3 steps. 3 steps? Like a waltz, in fact. What's he talking about? Man, what are you talking about? Oh, you know, the more I think about it, the more this style seems like a dance. Oh, I don't... you seem to be several steps ahead of yourself, though. And you're on the wrong foot. No. There's nothing but circumstantial evidence here. There's no actual proof of the defendant's guilt. Oh, but the victim's version of events is backed up by what the big-chinned man next to him says, isn't it? 1. He saw the Japanese man there. 2. He saw no one else. And 3. He saw the Japanese man there. Oh. Well, that's another 3 steps. All this really does seem more and more like a waltz, doesn't it? Alright, and the prosecution waltz its way to victory if I let you speak much more. Oh, there is no evidence to suggest the gangling actor is a fraudman. Not for now, at least.
Hold it!
A fraudman? What do you mean by that, madam? Oh. Oh, it really is a most tiresome problem for the company. Most irritating. We can be absolutely certain that a customer is stealing from us, but without hard evidence. We can't even threaten to take action for fear of being sued. Wait, she's from the gas company? I'm sorry. You've lost me a little there. Who are you? I'm the wife of Augustus Altamont, owner of the Altamont Gas Company. Oh, good gracious. Altamont Gas, you say? Oh, gas is the future of energy in this country and around the globe, but proper handling is essential. As I'm sure our employee from the East End branch office would be the first to agree. Oh, absolutely, Daddy Quimby. Gotta be used properly. Altamont Gas is the best in the world, of course. Oh, I think we may have solved the mystery of the bow from earlier, Mr. Naruhodo-san. What? Alright. He bowed in defense to his employer's wife. Difference to his employer's wife, did he? Ah, so would I be right in assuming that the reason Mr. Metalman was watching what Mr. Shamspeare was up to in his room? Oh, I'm afraid there's no end to the length of the population of the East End will go in order to steal our gas. So I really have no choice when the company identifies somebody as a possible fraudster, but to dispatch a worker to watch the suspect day and night. We're very thorough in our investigation. So you mean Mr. Shamspeare is... Oh, I wouldn't come out and say it in public. But you can finish that sentence with a grubby little gas thief. You have noticed the public gallery in here, have you? Oh, the eye of a man hath no heart, hath not heard. The ear of man hath not seen. Faith, wouldst thou wound me with thy words? were I to let them penetrate the skin? Were I to let them penetrate the skin? But Ceres, here no insults, only choirs of angels in song. We may not have evidence yet, but my worker won't stop buzzing around you until they find it. Or she's the queen bee. And when they do, you'll find yourself blasted back to your angelic heights in an ultimate gas explosion. So Mr. Shakespeare has been stealing gas. I wonder, Journal number 4, if you wouldn't mind adding that information to your statement. Oh, my pleasure. What was it the bit about ripping that thief apart you enjoyed? A little before the part about abject violence, if it's not too much trouble. Ah, yes, of course. Oh, this could be it. This could shift the balance. Why did she vote guilty then? The victim puts on a fine performance, but in reality, he's a common thief of my company's gas. Okay.
Objection.
These two statements clearly contradict each other. Oh, good gracious. To whose statements do you refer, counsel? Juror number 1. What are you laying about, lad? I presume you heard juror number 4's statements, made by the wife of the owner of Ultimate Gas. What yes? The victim, who you claim to be a noble, straight-up man, in fact turns out to be a common thief. Oh, so the good daddy says, but there's no evidence, is there? You and I both heard them say as much. It's true. We don't have evidence as such, just yet. But the claims aren't baseless, you know? What? Oh, you heard me? Seeing as this operation has already been compromised, I would suggest that the court hears testimony from our East End branch office employee over there. Oh, I'll do whatever you say, my lady. Gas one's honor. Juror number 1. You say you're a man of your word. Ugh. If I could show that Mr. Shakespeare was a liar, you assured me that you would reconsider your decision about the defendant's guilt. Yes, I did say that. And as a man of honor, I hold to it, as I'm sure the other gentlemen of the jury will. Oh, me? Oh, well, yeah. Now that we've found out the man's a liar, perhaps we ought to consider the matter further. Oh, well, if I'm perfectly honest, I haven't heard half of what you've already all been saying. So if this means you recap a few points, that would sit me down to the ground. Oh no, I'm not having any part of this. I want this trial over and done with. Or in that case, I shall change my leaning. So, Mr. William Shakespeare, if that is your real name, we of the jury demand to know exactly what kind of a man you really are. Oh yes. Oh yes. A nice new balance. That's 4 jurors. 4 not guilty. Oh yes, Naruto-san. Victory. Yatta. I guess we'll stop here for tonight. Oh. Order! Order! Oh, well, this is quite extraordinary, I must say. As a result of the defense's summation examination, the jury's ruling has changed. Now only 2 jurors say guilty, whilst 4 say not guilty. I therefore declare this court to be in a state of disaccord, and order the trial to continue. Ah, yes. You have spoiled the bouquet of Mr. Shamspeare. You have spoiled the bouquet, Mr. Shamspeare. The ladies and gentlemen of the jury now find they are unable to trust you, the victim. Oh, but you gods will give us some faults to make us men. So God made me, I do swear. This gasman speaketh that which concerns him most, and naught but gas, and naught but thin air. Aye, it burneth bright a while, but it hath no substance, and it doth reek foul. Oi, what did you say? Do I take it, Mr. Shakespeare, that you deny the allegations of gas thievery? Oh, most heartily, my lord. Hast thou forgot? I am a seraph, an angel, noble of mind, sweet of nature, and verily honest of heart. Oh, you flying most pompous beanpole! Just 'cause I haven't got the evidence yet. Mr. Shakespeare, if, in fact, you are not noble of mind, sweet of nature, or honest of heart, if you are a liar, then your testimony should have no sway in this courtroom. It is my considered opinion that at the present time, no other possible culprit of this crime has been identified. All testimony heard by the court thus far heavily implicates the defendant. In short, it would not be unreasonable at this stage for me to rule on the case. What? No! Oh no. However, in light of the fact that the jury has expressed concern about the fidelity of this witness, I believe it would be inappropriate for this court not to pursue the point further.
Objection!
I assure you, my lord, that would be a waste of the court's time. The gas and this case are unrelated. Juror number 4. Yes? Didn't you say before that although you had no hard evidence to prove this man has been stealing gas, you have strong grounds for suspecting him? Oh, that's right. We do. Don't we, Walker? Absolutely, Lady Quimby. Gasman Honor. I think we're gonna have to stop. I was trying to find a better place to stop, but I don't think we're gonna have that. So yeah. We have to. Anyway, wow. Never easy, is it? We're gonna have to prove that this guy is lying. Shakespeare. But that's gonna have to wait. I'm gonna have to go to bed. So, thank you for being here with me tonight. As usual, please take care, stay safe. You know, very very troubled times. And I hope to see you soon. Probably tomorrow. Bye.